All right, welcome everybody in the metal universe. This is, of course, Metal4Metal. We are here. I'm PJ Steven. This is Dennis Parker. And just like every week, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring you the best metal news. What have we got today, Dennis? I tell you what, before we get into it, I would like to discuss some stuff of what I've seen. Have you seen Guardians of the Galaxy 2 yet?
I watched about half of it. I still haven't finished it yet.
I'll tell you what, I finished it, and I love the soundtrack to it. Mm-hmm. None of it's metal, of course, but there's some things in there like Fleetwood Mac and Cat Stevens that's just off the chain. And I hate to get away from the genre here a little bit, but the soundtrack to that movie is fantastic. I truly recommend it. I've been really stuck on that, honestly, so I have to confess, I haven't listened to a whole lot of metal this week. It's been mostly that soundtrack.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, I remember whenever Volume 1 came out, I really fell in love with it, and I don't remember even hearing a lot of those songs. I remember every now and then I'd hear a song, but just having them all in one collection.
Oh, yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's great, and my wife really likes it, too. So that's something we can both listen to.
Yeah,
I did listen to a little bit of Volume 2, the soundtrack.
Yeah, it's good. It's got the chain on
good.
there. It gets some ELO. You know what? I'm lying. You know what I have been listening to? There's a Blue Oyster Cult live album that I've been listening to. It's called Extraterrestrial Live. They ended with Don't Fear the Reaper. And, dude,
nice.
It is a great rendition. It's faster. The solo is longer. The whole record, though, is fantastic. So definitely Blue Oyster Cult, Extraterrestrial Live, I recommend. So that and Volume 2 is what I've been listening to. But, you know, that's me.
Yeah, right now I found that there was a new Metal Church live album. And I had no idea it was coming out. And I think
you're a Metal Church guy.
I love Metal Church. I'm sure a lot of people know, but the lead guy from Metal Church, he was James Hetfield's guitar roadie.
Right.
For a long time. And then it was that thing whenever they were playing in Montreal, and then James Hetfield got hit by the pyrotechnics, and then later on when they restarted the tour, he was able to fill in for James Hetfield while his arm was all fucked up and shit like that. So, but yeah, I think they do actually have one more live album. I could be wrong about that, but this is a really good one. It's almost kind of like the Metal Church Greatest Hits CD that I never got, but yeah, it's really good. It's just been constantly playing on my phone. So yeah, that's all I've been doing.
I'm with you. I'm into it. What? How many pieces of news do we have to bring to the
I think
today?
There's 5. I think there's 5 today.
A little bit of slow news this week.
It's not nothing groundbreaking happening this week, but there's some interesting stuff in here.
Yeah, I can't wait for us to get to our ending news. It's
actually the big one.
The big one. You'll see it. You'll see it. And
it.
it's probably going to be in the headline, and you might have already been spoiled by it, and that's not our problem.
Yeah.
All right, next.
I'll say we don't write this stuff.
We don't write it.
But yeah, as always, you can find the full links to these news articles down below so you can read them all for yourself. I believe today they're all coming from Blabbermouth and Metal Injection.
And don't forget, folks, our website is Metal4Metal.com is up. Please go check it out. Give us a like, comment, subscribe. Tell us how we're doing. We want to do it better just for you folks. We appreciate your business very much. Of course, our Patreon account is up where you can pledge us $1 a month. But you never have to do that because we're going to give you the news free anyway. You never have to do that. But we would much appreciate it. And we're going to get right into it with the Metal4Metal news, motherfuckers.
First up on the list, we got some Van Halen news today.
Love Van Halen. Who
Yeah,
doesn't?
Michael Anthony was recently on Eddie Trunk's new show, Trunk Nation, and he had some things to say. During an appearance earlier this week on Trunk Nation show, Anthony went on to say that a Van Halen reunion involving all the original members plus Hagar would only happen if everyone was equally excited to do it, because you don't want to go out and have it be work. You don't want to do it and just have people say, well, they're just out there doing it for the money, he explained. I want to truly go out there and just kick ass and give people everything, and that's what it would have to be. So I believe the last time, according to this article, it said that they did an Anthony Hagar, Alex, Andy Van Halen team up was in 2004 for a U.S. summer tour. So yeah, we're definitely overdue for one.
Let me tell you, I in my record collection, I have every Van Halen up to Hagar, except I have 5150, which I love because Dreams is one of my favorite songs. Either way, I'm a big Van Halen fan. I love what they're trying to do. Michael Anthony is a hell of a bassist. And also, Hagar's band, Chickenfoot, is not a bad band. I mean, Michael Anthony, it's basically a super group, but it's a fantastic band. Some of the writing I'm not too keen about because it's mostly Hagar writing. I'm more of just, if he could just step back and just be a voice, that'd be great. His writing is not too great in my opinion, but you can't deny that he killed it with Van Halen. What a great replacement, almost like Bon Scott to Brian Johnson. There was no one that could have replaced David Lee Roth better than Sammy Hagar, in my opinion. And David Lee Roth was a fantastic frontman, which I think on stage was better than Hagar. But singing-wise and just quality of his voice, I have to give it to Hagar. But David Lee Roth, man, doing those splits in the air, and especially during the 80s when 1984 came out, and even before that when Diver Down and Women and Children First came out, man, those records are just off the chain. I can't really pick a favorite Van Halen record. I gotta maybe say their first one.
Yeah, I would say the first one's easy for
me. And 3 of the songs on there were covers. You Really Got Me Now and Ice Cream Man and all that, but just such a great record. I really love Van Halen. What are your experiences with Van Halen? I know you're not a huge
not the hugest one. I mean, really, it's their first album that really did it for me. And I went to check out some of their earlier ones when they got the whole keyboard thing going on in there. Yeah, it's like dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it's all right, but I mean, Van Halen's a fine band. I mean, if they were to come around here, I definitely would want to make.
Do you put Eddie Van Halen in like the top 5 guitarists in like rock and roll, heavy metal, classic rock?
Classic rock, I'd say.
Put him in the top 5?
Yeah, sure.
He's definitely in my top 3. Every time I hear Eruption, I have to think to myself, like, okay, we get it, Eddie, you can play.
Yeah. Show off. Yeah. You fucking show off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much the universal, like, I just learned how to play guitar, and I want to play Eruption to impress all my friends.
My favorite Van Halen album, like I said, is the first one, probably. I do love Diver Down, however. Tell us, what are your experiences with Van Halen? Are you excited for this new tour? I would love to see them come here. I'd love to see Hagar and David Lee Roth on stage together. I'm sure they can put together their differences. And, they say, it's not for the money, but if the money talks, okay? And
do you think tickets are going to be as much as Metallica?
No. I don't think there'll be as much as Metallica. And we'll get on that later with our final topic. But for right now, let's move on to our second piece of news.
All right. Now we got some In Flames news coming up. They got a new single out, Here Until Forever. The stunning animated clip directed by award-winning Mexican filmmaker Luis Tellez, sorry if I just butchered your last name, is a masterclass in stop-motion animation. Here Until Forever is taken from In Flames' latest album, Battles, which was released last November via Nuclear Blast. The CD was recorded in Los Angeles with Grammy-nominated producer Howard Benson, who had previously worked on Motorhead, Body Count, and Sepultura, among others.
He's actually working with Body Count's new album, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I've heard of this guy before. He's done good work.
I'm a Body Count fan, yeah.
Yeah, it says here that whenever they asked the In Flames singer Andries Frieden, told Face Culture that Here Until Forever was written for his son. I wrote Come Clarity for my daughter when she was 2. He saw that and he started asking, Daddy, where's my song? So he wrote him a song, and then it says, asked if his son had heard Here Until Forever and what he thought about it. Anders said he heard it and I think he cried. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's good. But
that's nice.
I don't know if you saw the video yet. I watched it today when I was reading about this, and it's a really cool video. It's that kind of clay animation, stop animation kind of stuff, like Celebrity Deathmatch and stuff like that.
Early Godzilla.
Stuff. And it's a really good video. It's an example, I think personally, when the video is better than the song. I mean, it's not a it's not a terrible song. I mean, in Flames' newer stuff, it was actually their last one that I really picked up was Come Clarity, and that's when they started kind of taking a new direction. I thought they kind of started to imitate Korn a little bit. I don't know, maybe his vocals kind of sound a little bit like Jonathan Davis to me. Don't like it as much as Horacle and the Jester Race. But
that Jester Race
is great.
That's the first thing I ever heard in Flames.
Yep, it's a great
album.
And
I was really into them. I think they're good. And also, a quick thing, Nuclear Blast is the same record company that produces a lot of Testament stuff. Excuse me, and a lot of the Metal Allegiance stuff that Alex Skolnick works with David Ellefson and stuff like that. So that's very cool. I'm into that.
Yeah, definitely check out the video. When you see it, I'll put the link, in the description down below so everybody can watch
definitely
it.
take a look and see what's up. In Flames, that's someone you never heard of. I definitely recommend checking out the Jester Race. That's such a good album.
Yeah,
and it's really, it's a different kind of heavy metal.
It's old school Gothenburg melodic death metal.
Yeah,
it's exactly what it is.
And he can definitely definitely narrow that shit down. That's something you always see here on this show with Dennis. He can narrow down exactly, pretty much 90% of what kind of metal it is.
Metal,
Me, I just say, that's heavy metal,
Yeah, well, that's really there are different subgenres of heavy metal, but if you want to really,
I can usually classify the thrash metal and the death and the black, but he can go,
this is definitely that
melodic second grade death metal.
Yeah, that's what it is. What it is. Yeah, I guess maybe their newer stuff is more second grade, but
okay,
yeah,
second.
But it's all right. It's not bad.
What else we got here?
Okay, Manson's in the news. Marilyn Manson here. As we said last episode, we talked about he was the first rock and roll guy I ever got into. So
correct.
Marilyn Manson has announced a revised title for his new album, tentatively due later this year. Although Manson said in a 2016 interview that his follow-up to 2015's The Pale Emperor would be called Say 10, he told Fabulous TV at this past Monday's premiere of King Arthur, Legend of the Sword film that his new disc is finished and will be named Heaven Upside Down. An April release date is planned for this. I'm sorry, I'm reading that wrong. Let's see here. Manson revealed last September that his new album would be the last thing people would expect after hearing The Pale Emperor. He explained, coming from the people who I played it to, it's a combination of Antichrist Superstar and Mechanical albums and feeling. Now that gets me excited because the last couple Marilyn Manson albums didn't really do a lot for me. He did take kind of a different direction. But Antichrist Superstar, Mechanical Animals, those were really awesome albums, I thought.
And
really good.
I think that those really add to his character as well because he, one of my favorite interviews ever with Marilyn Manson is with the interview he'd had with Bill O'Reilly.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's explaining that, this is just how we are, man. This isn't my character. It's just, I'm trying to educate and put that through my music. And just the way he speaks calmly and with passion is the reason I fell in love with Marilyn
Ironically, he sometimes comes off as the voice of reason.
He really is, man.
Yeah, he really does.
And he's just a fantastic artist.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. Screw anyone that does not just not feel for him for the passion that he has for his work.
He puts a lot into it.
No matter what religion, no matter what political preference you are, which I have none, looking at someone like that, the way he works and the way he writes, the way he puts on a show, no matter what your preference is, you gotta give it to the guy.
Yeah, I want to see Manson live.
He can work. Yeah, he can go. And I mean...
Actually, you know what? Now I have seen Manson live. I saw him at Ozfest, now I think about that. Yeah, he actually... I just remember they took a mic... I remember it showed him, and he took a microphone. It looked like he shoved it up someone's ass.
That's
on
metal.
Stage. Yeah, it's pretty metal.
That's metal.
Yeah, he did that on stage, so that was
One thing
cool.
that's metal, ladies and gentlemen, is things up your asshole.
Yeah, especially
so
Marilyn Manson.
If you're watching and hearing it and you're in prison, just know it's metal what you're doing.
Yeah, let's get maybe we can get Manson in there to shove something in your asshole while you're serving your hard time.
Would you let him?
If I was serving hard time, I imagine I would. I'd appreciate a conjugal visit from Marilyn Manson. Why not?
Reach out and touch me.
Why not?
Your own.
Why not?
Personal
so that's cool.
ass rape. Somewhere to keep you. I'm sorry.
All right. Well,
I'm looking forward to that as well.
I'm looking forward to
Marilyn
hearing
Manson's a really good, like I said, he really just brings that metal to the stage.
Very well spoken guy. When you were talking about that Bill O'Reilly interview, I remember Bill O'Reilly, I think it was him, he asked him, they were talking about that Columbine thing that happened a long time ago, and he was saying
they blame him for Columbine.
About how they were blaming Manson for Columbine and everything instead of blaming the parents or somebody that was actually there or whatever. But anyway, Bill O'Reilly was like, somebody asked him, it's like, what would you have said to those kids if you had the chance? And he eloquently said, just like, I probably wouldn't say anything. I would just let them talk because that's the one thing that nobody did was listen to them.
Yeah. And,
so, well said, Manson.
Yeah, well said.
Well
for
said.
Real. I'm into it.
All right, next piece of news. So we got some Megadeth action figures. If you want I guess action figures is too lightly of a term. They're more
Don't
like
say
really
dolls.
cool.
I'll put you outside if you say
Okay.
dolls.
Dolls?
Doll, you know what I mean?
Dolls?
Dolls.
Dolls. I got you now.
Megadeth action figure. Okay, I'm a big statue guy. I'm a big, like, I have a lot of, like, well, I have my Eddie here, my Trooper, and I have a lot of things like that, so I'm very excited for this. I really, they're also, like, I'm very excited. Go ahead.
Okay, Knucklebones, the creator of the Rock Icons music collectible series,
I have a few of those,
is now rolling out 2 Megadeth statues. The Dave Mustaine Rock Icon statue is created with his Angel of Death guitar. It's a Dave Mustaine and Vic Rattlehead P-Cells Megadeth Rock Icon statue coming in the fall. A timeless image of Dave in a signature military top and the black and yellow radiation logo.
Is that from Rust in Peace?
Yeah, it is on there.
Okay.
I believe that's going to be on the Dave Mustaine statue. And then there's also a Vic Rattlehead P-Cell statue that is featuring him hunching over the for sale sign atop War Rubble, and it says it's still We the People, right? So it says
I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Idea.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be rolling this right now so you can see it. But there's also the description down below so you can see some better pictures.
Just look at that. Just look how awesome it
they're
looks.
They're really cool, man.
I definitely want to get the P-Cells one.
$125 though.
I'll get it.
Yeah.
Well, they're also. I think that might be the same company. They're doing a Lemmy one as well.
Yeah, there's Lemmy. They're doing Lemmy and they're doing Alice Cooper, and I think they're doing the Doors too. So
okay, well, I'll definitely buy the Cooper one and definitely the.
Yeah, I'd like to have the Lemmy one and the Vic Rattlehead one for sure.
Man. And if we have them, you will see them here on this show. We will have them definitely. Definitely featured, so I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, very cool.
And it'll be featured in my house. I'm like I said, I'm a big statues guy. I'm a big. Anytime there's a video game that has a special edition that I'm into, I buy it.
Yeah,
like the Assassin's
stuff.
Creed. Assassin's Creed stuff. I have the little statues. Excuse me. I've got the Iron Maiden statue or the toys up there. As much as I want to take them out of the package, I know that they'll probably get messed up because I have 2 dogs and a cat. And I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
I'd hate to put down my dog because it'd chew it on my Eddie.
But you have to.
But I'd have to. And that would be metal.
That would be fucking metal. For real. All right, next piece of news is about Richard Christie. Richard Christie is a Renaissance man. He is a legendary metal drummer known for his time with Death and his current project, Charred Walls of the Damned. He's a comedian appearing regularly on the Howard Stern Show for over a decade. And, interesting little tidbit there, I actually voted for him back in the day. When he was with Iced Earth, what it was, he wanted to audition.
With Iced Earth?
Yeah, he was on tour. I believe it was the Horror Show tour he was on. And then...
with Steve DiGiorgio?
Yes. Well, no, he wasn't on the tour. He was on the album, not the tour.
He wasn't on the tour.
Anyway,
sorry, Steve.
Yeah, so Richard Christie was on tour, and then he got an audition to go on the Howard Stern Show, and he gave his tape and everything, and then eventually Howard Stern just put up on his website where you got to vote for the guy who they were going to hire, and Richard Christie ended up winning. I think it's because the metal community all went out in droves and voted on for him. So
if anyone from the metal community ran for president, then I might actually vote.
Okay, well now it says, if you are one of the many people who caught Guardians of the Galaxy 2 opening this weekend, you may have spotted Richard as one of the Ravengers, a notable cast of characters throughout the film. On the Howard Stern...
What?
Yeah. On the Howard Stern Show earlier today, Christie revealed he even had a line yelling, "Down there," at one point in the film. He told a fan on Twitter to keep an eye out for when the song Come a Little Bit Closer by Jay and the Americans begins playing to note his big scene.
I love that.
Yeah.
Come a little bit closer.
As I haven't finished watching the movie yet.
Okay, I don't want to
But yeah, I'm definitely gonna be looking out for him now.
Yeah.
Kudos to him for getting that.
It's sad when Star-Lord dies. I'm kidding. He doesn't die, by the way. He doesn't die. Maybe.
Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't.
Is he joking? Is he serious? You did that to me when Iron Man 3 came out, and you saw Iron Man 3, and you were like, "Oh man, I can't believe War Machine dies." And I was like, "Are you serious?" And you were like, "Is he joking? Is he kidding?" But anyway, I loved Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Side note, it was a fantastic film. I definitely recommend it. As far as that, now I have another excuse to go back and watch it.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
And I really want to see that.
Richard Christie's a beast too, man. Like he is. I'm so happy for him that he's getting to do everything. He's one of the world's best metal drummers. He's on the Howard Stern Show, and now he has a cameo.
Was he on that live album that we were listening to the other day? Like the album, like or the performance like right before Dude Man died of cancer, and they were trying to raise money?
On the Death Death Live in L.A.
He's on that.
I think so. I can check it real quick, see if he is on that.
But anyway, just curious.
Yeah.
I don't know. But Death is a really good. Steve Giorgio was in Death, wasn't he?
Yeah. He was their long time
So he
bass
was
player.
in Death, and then he moved to Iced Earth and did just the album Horror Show. And then
Yeah.
Richard Christie auditioned to be on Horror Show. Isn't that kind of funny?
Yeah.
Do you think maybe they had a communication with each
Oh,
other?
I'm sure one of them recommended the other. I'm sure they know each other very well.
Okay.
So,
There.
yeah, but that's good for him though. Okay. Now, big piece of news.
Okay, this is it. And I have a lot to say about this. So you go ahead.
Okay. Well, good news, I guess, for the people who ever dreamt of putting Lars Ulrich in a rocket and shooting him off into space. He may be doing it on his own accord. Metallica is the only band who have played all 7 continents on the planet Earth, and they're not stopping there. According to drummer Lars Ulrich, the band is putting out some feelers to see if they can be the first band to play in space.
Just hold on. Can we just drink that in for a second?
Yeah.
Can I just say, we're from a small town of South Carolina, and like they won't come here, but they'll be like, we gotta go to the moon.
They'll play on the moon before they'll come to Charleston. That's for damn sure. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. The next is just it was a quote from Lars. Living in San Francisco, which is the gateway to the future.
San Francisco.
Obviously, all those things are being planned out around San Francisco to a degree. So I feel that we are close to that as we can be. There's a few feelers out to a few people, nothing worth giving away. The headline Metallica promised to play in space can certainly be derived out of this wishy-washy answer.
Okay, so like, if tickets are already $160...
Well, that's how they afford to go to space.
But, so who...
Going to space isn't cheap, man.
I wonder how many people are going to pay tickets to go to space?
Well, I don't think that their goal is to have other people come into space
They're
and
just going
watch
to play?
them. I think they're just going in.
If they don't play Orion, that's going to be stupid.
That would be stupid.
This is like when they played in Antarctica and they didn't play Trapped Under Ice. That was your one chance.
That was a super missed
so
opportunity.
You have a strike two. You have a second chance. If you don't play Orion when you're in space, what are you doing? You should break up.
Let's hope that rocket doesn't break up.
Yeah,
coming in from re-entry. This is kind of scary. I mean, they're all going to be like on the same rocket. And of course,
they're probably going to have their crew.
Right. I mean, I guess. I mean, how are they going to do that? I don't know. Like, is there really going to be a drum set in space just floating around on the...
No, all he needs is... That's all these sound like anyway, just cans.
Well...
Okay, let's ask ourselves this. What are there some space-themed songs that...
Not from Metallica
has?
really.
They have Orion. I just mentioned that.
Space isn't really their thing, except to where they want to go.
For
some reason, I guess I want to go.
And I guess it doesn't say the moon. They could be going.
It doesn't say the moon.
In space.
See,
in a shuttle.
I hope they just don't do something where they just kind of barely graze the atmosphere, where just technically they're in space. Like, I want them out in space. Somewhere between the moon and Earth, maybe way out there.
You think moon.
If
there are aliens out there, they'll be like, "What is this music?" And
perhaps the theory that Metallica was in fact abducted by aliens and replaced a long time ago. Perhaps that is true, and the alien Metallicas are finally returning home.
The alien Metallicas.
Yeah.
Where are you reading this? What kind of National Enquirer are you reading?
It's on Blabbermouth, man.
Blabbermouth, if you're...
It's in the comments, though.
Yeah, if you're watching...
I'm just reading this from the comments.
If you're watching, we're on to you. And we see your alien shit. And we're on to you. But seriously, though, like, Metallica won't go to, like, Georgia or anything like that, but they'll go to, like, the space. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. But, I mean, kudos to you. You got the balls to try and play in space, whatever. You got the balls to play in space.
I don't even know what to say.
I mean,
they'll probably do it, man. They got some money.
That's you. That's your favorite band.
I mean, fuck, why not? I mean, as long as sure, I'll watch them play in space. Why not?
And that's another thing too. During this tour or whatever, they're supposed to be like live streaming a lot of their stuff. They're probably going to make you pay for that.
They'll probably make you pay for a live stream from space. I'll probably buy it too. I'll probably pay for it. Maybe a live DVD in space.
A live Metallica.
Are they just going to be astronauts just floating around behind them?
No, what it's going to be, it's going to be like Lars in an astronaut suit, just like counting his money.
I guess so.
One, two,
the first millionaire to count his money in space.
4. He gets like 500. It's like, oh, lost count. 1, 2.
Lars running out of oxygen.
3, 4.
Not done counting my money. Oh, that's it for the news.
Wow. So Metallica in space. Would you see Metallica in space? Because I don't think I would.
Do we have a choice? They're in space.
I guess so.
I don't
Do you think they'd be like... I don't know. That sounds like national news to me. Like, why wouldn't they televise it?
I guess, yeah. I mean, this is going to have to be filmed. Even the thing in Antarctica was filmed. There's no way they're not going to go to space and not film it.
Why didn't they play Trapped Under Ice? Are there any... We might be missing any. Are there any Metallica songs that you know of that have space references? If so, why the hell are they playing it?
Something cool to play in space. But yeah, I mean, they haven't gone over what they're going to play. But
maybe they should just play the song The Thing That Should Not Be, because that should not be. That's bullshit. Yeah. The fact that they're going to just be in space.
Yeah. Best of luck on your space travel.
Apollo 14, like... No, it was 13. It was 13.
The 13 got lost out there.
Yeah, I mean... Lost in space.
Whatever.
I mean, that's fine.
That's fine with me, man. If they want to be in space, that's cool.
Okay. So, one of the topics that I've been floating around in my head, and I haven't even gone over with this.
No, I didn't. No.
I want you to rank top 5 Ozzy Osbourne albums.
Oh shit. Top 5 Ozzy.
Top 5 Ozzy Osbourne albums.
Oh, you gotta go. Mine. You gotta go first.
I have to go first.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm
Black and Sabbath count. Sabbath albums don't count.
Sabbath albums do not count.
All right.
So Ozzy Osbourne, just Ozzy. Number 1 for me is Diary of a Madman.
Okay.
Number 2 is Blizzard.
All right.
Number 3, you might disagree, and you probably will. Number 3 to me is No More Tears.
Yeah.
Number 4 is No Rest for the Wicked.
Mm-hmm.
And 5 is Bark at the Moon. That's my top 5 Ozzy, and I'm basing them off on not only in my opinion of just I think that that's what's good, but I'm also basing it off, like, especially No More Tears being number 3. I think that's an underrated album, only because there's a lot of that album is really emotional and very personal to Ozzy. And I think that reflects in his singing, and the way he performed it live, the way the studio album sounds. So and the only reason I'm not putting it number 1, if I'm being honest, because I can't deny Diary of a Madman. That title track is insane. Yeah. And then of course Blizzard of Oz. I mean, that whole record, A to B, is just. I mean, Goodbye to Romance, Crazy Train, of course, Mr. Crowley. I mean, that opening organ. I mean, like. I'm only not putting it number 1 because it's probably everyone's number 1. And I love Diary of a Madman.
It's so hard to pick a top 5, man.
Let's hear it.
I'm going to have to, let's see here, Ozzy. I'm going to have to get a list in front of me, man. It's hard to put them all in order. All right, definitely off the top of my head, No Rest for the Wicked.
That's without
number 1? Yeah, absolutely. Number 1.
Really?
That was the first Ozzy album I ever bought, and it's just, I love every song on it. And it's the first one with Zach Wild on.
And you think it matches up to, like...
I think I like it more than all of them.
Really?
Easily.
And you think...
I still go back, I still listen to it all the time.
And you think that musically and talent-wise...
Yeah, the songs are catchy as shit, dude.
Right, but it goes with... You think it...
Looking for a miracle.
Yeah. You think it goes with Randy Rhoads and Bark at the Moon? And,
I mean, I don't know if it goes... I mean, it's different, but it's heavier. It's definitely
It is heavier.
It's a lot heavier.
That's why it's my number 4. Okay, so fine. We got Rest of the Wicked.
No Rest for the Wicked, definitely... See, I know the top 3. Blizzard of Oz is next. Definitely his solo album.
Okay, so we can agree
that I don't know what... I mean, there's nothing left to say about Blizzard of Oz. Diary of a Madman, number 3. Number 4 and 5. I mean, I'd probably say... number 4... Oh, such a tough one, man. It's hard to put them in order. You know, I'd probably say Bark at the Moon. I guess.
4?
Yeah, I'd say Bark at the Moon. And the last one, You know what, man? Like, I think everybody's going to disagree with me, but I really like Down to Earth.
Really?
I did like that one.
You know, Down to Earth is also a Rainbow album.
Really?
Yeah, it's got. I'm pretty sure it's Down to Earth. It's the first record that's got Graham Bonnet on it when he replaced Dio, and it's Since You've Been Gone, Since You've Been. I don't think you ever heard that.
Yeah,
what's the other song, man? Anyway, but Down to Earth. So you think?
Yeah, I mean the top three are easy for me. Those last two is just kind of a.
You don't put No More Tears on there?
Nah, not really. I don't really like that album too much. I like the song.
Yeah.
I like the song No More Tears.
You know, like Mom, I'm Coming Home.
Nah, Hellraiser. I mean, Mama, I just heard him so many times. That's I guess.
True. I remember hearing Hellraiser on Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Yeah, like I said, those last two albums were really hard to put in order. It's really hard to put all of them in order. I just know, without a doubt, No Rest for the Wicked.
That's your number one?
Absolutely.
My number one is still Diary. And I love...
There's no wrong answer.
No, there's not. No, there's no wrong answer with heavy metal. Of course not. But I just think Diary is just insane. That title track itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, I don't.
Well, I thought of this question because last week we talked about Zakk Wylde and Ozzy Osbourne doing the reunion. I also talked about the Zakk Wylde starting a band called Zakk Sabbath. And
is that a thing?
Yeah, they're covering a lot of Black Sabbath songs.
Oh, I haven't heard of this.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Zakk Sabbath.
Who's singing?
Zach.
Oh, he's singing and playing guitar.
Yeah, and I forgot who the bassist and drummer is. I looked it up, but I forgot. But either way, that's what made me think of this topic.
Okay.
But Ozzy's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think that he is the pinnacle of what heavy metal is. In fact, I was just listening to Black Sabbath's first record the other day, and I was talking to Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, baby, this is the first. And you can disagree with me all you want, but honestly, I mean, prove me wrong. But that record, Black Sabbath, to me, I think is the first recorded piece of metal.
Yeah,
you can
absolutely.
say that Led Zeppelin's first record, it's got some metal on there, whatever. But the aura that is heavy metal.
What was that Zeppelin song? Was it Helter Skelter or something?
Well, that's
like that?
Beatles. That's a Beatles.
Beatles, that's okay, yeah.
But I mean, even still, the aura that is heavy metal came from Black Sabbath's first record. Even Deep Purple in Rock has some heavy stuff on there, but it just doesn't capture that image of heavy metal.
Just because you had a heavy riff in your song doesn't really make it metal. Without a doubt.
I agree. Write that down.
Yeah, Black Sabbath was definitely the first band that invoked the spirit of heavy metal.
I agree. You can definitely
Satan
say that. Sitting there, he's smiling. My name is Lucifer. Please take my hand. I mean,
I think it was Geezer that was quoted saying at one point that to him when they first started doing Black Sabbath, he thought of a horror movie in a song form. Uh-huh. Like, how would you make a horror movie in a song? And that's basically how I view heavy metal.
The legend is that Bill Ward, their drummer, was so just stoned or drunk out of his mind that when they asked him what kind of music do they play, he was trying to say heavy music, but instead he said heavy metal.
Because he was just so drunk?
And apparently that's a legend. And I've read that in dozens of books. But
I can see that happening.
Right?
I can see that.
Yeah. I mean, so I like your top five, Ozzy. I mean, the only one that
it's a good question. Thanks for catching me off guard for that. Really.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I did. I
caught me off guard. I had no idea that was coming. No idea.
Yeah, I mean, what are your top five? Please put your top five in favorite albums. We'd love to hear it. We'd love to get your guys' input. What do you think of our top five? Do you think it matches up with yours? I don't think it does.
I don't think people aren't gonna like my top five.
Well, I mean, whatever. I mean,
that's fine.
I think it's cool.
Tell me how shitty I am in the comments.
Yeah, please. Yeah, and it can be positive or negative. As long as we hear from you, we're very excited.
Sure.
I do want to do one more thing before we sign off here. Next week, we're going to start a new show. We're still going to bring you the news, Metal4Metal, of course, but we have a new show. We're going to be calling it Metal Hammered, and we're going to have guests on the show that's going to talk about their metal experiences and share it with other people. I'm very excited to announce that the local band here in Charleston, South Carolina, a heavy metal band called the Gutter Saints, with my friend Frank O'Donnell here as the drummer, will be on the show next week. Kind of just talking about their band, how they got together, and then their influences and their just the way they're put together. I actually want to show off something here that Frank gave me a long time ago. It is an Armored Saint bandana that he wore for a very long time, and that one of the members of the band wore a very long time. And I can't wait to show him this. I'm giving you guys a sneak peek. He doesn't know that I'm going to do this. He is going to, well, I guess unless he watches this show. So, but either way, I can't wait to ask him about it, show him this, and have him tell you the story. But either way, Metal Hammered is going to be, we're just going to kind of drink, have some fun, and you guys are going to hear...
I'm looking forward to it.
We're looking forward to it.
I am looking forward to it.
Where you're just going to kind of hear the stories of heavy metal here local in the community. Get different guests are going to be on. We're in talking now with a local punk band called Hellbob Astronauts that the drummer Dave works at the bar that we work at, who is going to be on the show as well. So we're very excited to get this show going on, Metal Hammered. If you have any ideas, please throw us some ideas in the comments. If you would like to be on the show and you're local here to South Carolina, or we can always call you in. We would love to have you guys on the show. Like I said, our website is up, Metal4Metal.com, and our Patreon account is on. If you want to pledge $1, we really appreciate it. But if not, we're still going to bring you Metal Hammered and Metal4Metal news every week. And we appreciate you guys very much. Thank you so much. We're out.